Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now June 6th of 2022, and we're not only getting closer to the 4th episode of the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show, but also Star Wars Andor is right around the corner, which is all sitting ready to debut on August 31st. Followed by that, we have Star Wars The Bad Batch Season 2 in September. Then in February, we have The Mandalorian Season 3, and so on and so forth. So you can see how, Disney and Lucasfilm are really creating a large trend of Star Wars material from, of course, the summer to the spring to the winter and all these different seasons. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing that a lot of fans have really been excited about has a lot to do with, of course, some of the key characters that will be involved in these new Star Wars projects, such as, of course, Ezra Bridger, Sabine Wren, Harrison Dula. We also have Ahsoka Tano coming back into the equation here with the Ahsoka Tano TV show that's going to debut in 2023. So there's a lot of things on Jon and Dave's plate here for the future of the Star Wars universe, because they are creating not just post-Return of the Jedi content, but they're also getting involved in other different eras, and that's exactly what brings us to the subject today and how it involves Ahsoka Tano and a recast that has been happening behind the scenes, and we've been talking about this lightly before in the past. And one thing that's really intriguing about all of this has a lot to do with exactly what's been going on with who they picked and exactly how it's all going to work and what was meant to be before all of this actually happened. Now, on top of all of this, we already know that Jon and Dave Filoni are very passionate creators. These are people that are really trying to ultimately bring Star Wars back to its roots. They want to make sure that Star Wars can thrive and survive and really become something unique of its own. And that's exactly what Jon and Dave are trying to do at their very best. Now, with that being said, of course, we already know that everything related to the new Disney Star Wars TV shows are really going to all interact with each other. Basically, everything is going to connect to another show, be it if it's based in the future, present day, or in the past. They want to make sure that everything is going to connect in some way, shape, or form. Now, on top of all of this, what's even all the more exciting is that with numerous projects now being worked on by Disney and Lucasfilm that will be announced on Disney Plus Day and at the next Star Wars Celebration. However, it's described that recently many things have been changing for the future of Star Wars when it involves a second season of the Kenobi series, as well as other projects that will involve the return of Ahsoka Tano in a different era of the franchise. Now, initially, Rosario Dawson was signed on for the role to portray a younger version of Ahsoka Tano, where Jon and Dave had planned to make her appear younger in those projects, until recently, some weeks ago, they were going through some major changes and different options and hiring a younger actress instead. As of now, actress Laura Harrier is set to portray the younger version of Ahsoka Tano in the extension of the Kenobi series, along with other Star Wars projects that will be a big focus apart from the Ahsoka series, that will still involve Rosario Dawson. One major addition to all of this involves a new Star Wars project that is set to focus on hidden Jedi across the galaxy, that will serve as a spin-off to the Kenobi series that will roughly take place 2 years after Season 1 of Kenobi. All of the spin-off shows are planned to actually only be based a couple of years after Kenobi and or before the series as well. Now, Laura Harrier has already met with both Jon and Dave for the role, and is said to already have been involved and hired for these new shows for a multi-show contract. However, before all of this, Rosario Dawson was signed on for these projects, and eventually replaced by a younger actress, which is fine by Rosario right now, since she is still going to be involved in the post-Return of the Jedi projects. Now, let me just stop right here for a second. Now, the thing about this entire, plan that Jon and Dave have for the future of Star Wars is that there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes when it comes to what I like to call as the Kenobi-verse, right? So basically everything that happens between episodes 3 and 4, both Jon and Dave are going to be expanding all of that. A lot of things that have to do with Darth Maul and his crime syndicate, the rise of Crimson Dawn, everything to do with Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader. There's a lot of things coming into the equation here, and We already know that both Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen also signed on for multi-show contract deals, just like Rosario Dawson did. And that further, is making everything more concrete of how the Kenobi-verse, as I like to say, is going to just keep on expanding just as much as the Mandoverse. So, with that being said, however, that's Jon and Dave's approach to this new Star Wars universe, is that they basically want to create different eras, and each and every era is going to be a mini-verse of its own within this large Star Wars universe, if that makes any sense. So, it's a very interesting way of marketing, and it's a very smart way, in my opinion, to actually mix some of the characters together. So, back onto Laura Harrier, alright? Now, these new TV shows are about to be announced at Star Wars Celebration next year also. Laura Harrier is set to play a completely different version of Ahsoka as far as her personality goes, and will be more in line with how Ahsoka acts in Star Wars Rebels and even the Clone Wars. Now, in the beginning, Jon and Dave were very hesitant on creating two versions of Ahsoka, but now they are exploring all of their options both in live action and in animated form. This is set to be a big deal for the new Star Wars shows, since both Kenobi and Ahsoka are set to meet again in live action form for the very first time this time, however. Now, with Jon and Dave taking over the Kenobi spin-offs and even the second season of Kenobi, along with working with Deborah Chow, they want to also explore other characters that will interact with Ahsoka Tano, such as the new Jedi characters that will be explored in these new shows, and as well as the new shows that are also set to involve more, of course, Darth Vader, and that Hayden Christensen is already signed on for over 10 new Star Wars roles, both of which are going to be either animated or live-action projects. Jon and Dave feel the recast of Ahsoka Tano was necessary, since it was hard to make Rosario Dawson appear as a younger Togruta in a different era compared to the post-return of the Jedi Ahsoka Tano. Now let me just stop right here for 1 second. Now, before we move on to the next thing that's very important is that we already know that everything related to Ahsoka Tano and, the character of Obi-Wan Kenobi, they have a pretty big history, and they want to explore a lot of that in live action form. And to me, I think that's going to be a defining moment in Star Wars, lore, and as well as this universe that Jon and Dave are currently setting up as we speak. Again, it's very worth noting here that this new universe of Star Wars is going to actually be able to explore a lot of younger versions of some of the beloved characters that you all know and love. Either ones that are from Legends or ones that are from Star Wars Rebels per se, and we have not seen them in live action form yet. They are going to be making all of that possible in different eras of the franchise. So that to me I think is a very, unique and clever way to kind of explore all different angles of all of these different characters that are coming on board. As far as Laura Harrier goes, I think that she's an excellent choice for Kenobi, and of course for the Kenobi spin-offs. I think that given that Jon and Dave, they did try with Rosario Dawson, she was signed on for these roles for a very long time, for a good couple of months at least, and that eventually fell through, and now she's being replaced by a younger actress. But let's make things clear here. Ahsoka Tano is still going to be played by Rosario in the Ahsoka series and all Mandoverse projects. She was supposed to be inserted into the Kenobi-verse projects, as I like to say, but that actually ended up being completely changed by both Jon and Dave. So overall, guys, let me know what you guys have to say about all of this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.